Mm, mm, mm. Lord have mercy. I thought that this would be embarrassing to talk about, but when I look back, it's not embarrassing to talk about at all. If anything, it was a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise. Everybody always holler about when they see um, wolves training children and they see wolves training babies and they see dogs training babies that it's AI, it's AI. I'm here to tell y'all from personal experience, everything is not AI. Wolves do train children. Wolves do train babies. Coyotes do train. They do train children. And I know this for a fact because I thought this was going to be embarrassing to talk about. But like I said, when I go back and I'll get into this further, you'll find out that I had the best teachers in my life that any child could ever experience. Everything is not AI. Y'all, when I was coming up, I wasn't raised. I wasn't raised by my mother, nor was I raised by my father. My father worked at Caterpillar in the daytime. He was a bartender over 30 years at night bars, and he did something else. It'll come to me later. My mother was a country girl that was into weed, and then her weed habit grew into cocaine and this and that. I was not raised by a long shot. Everything is not AI. I was trained by dogs. There's a difference between being raised and the difference between being trained. I was trained by two poodles. One named Fluffy, which was a white poodle. The second one named Reggie, that was a black poodle. I was trained by two poodles. I don't remember, never in my life, my mom and dad teaching me how to cross the street. I never remembered none of that. I never learned any of that. My poodles taught me that. They taught me that. I never learned not to let people get too close to you. Well, you let me close to you where they can do what they want to do to you, but you don't let them get too close to you where they can wipe you out and destroy you. All these things I learned was from my two dogs. There's a difference between being raised and being trained. I was trained by dogs. Why do you think that I have all these extra six senses? I have all these seven to eight smells and I can detect danger before it's coming because I was raised by two dogs. You know how like y'all don't want to raise your kids right now. So what you do, you set them in front of these TV shows. You sit them in front of these cartoons and they learn this stuff, and then you want to know where they learned that from. But they spent 7 to 8 hours in front of the TV screen learning this stuff. And then when it's something that you ain't approve of, when you get back for about 30 minutes or 2 hours at the max, you want to know where they got that shit from. Well, that was my deal. I was basically raised by poodles because mom and dad didn't have time to raise me. They was in motorcycle clubs. They was here. They was there. They was. I can't even say what they was doing because I don't want to let out too much family dirt. But I was born in '77. At some point in some period, if you look up from, I guess, '77 up until, I guess, the last 10 or 15 years, the poodle was the smartest dog. And I was raised by poodles. They trained me night and day. It wasn't at the same time. Fluffy was the white one and trained me. And then when he died, then Reggie came to finish up the baton, and he trained me. And you want to know how both of those poodles died? Getting hit by cars. They sacrificed themselves so I didn't have to get hit by a car. My dogs taught me how to cross the street. Look left, look right, look left. Don't just run out into the street, but they turn around and run out into the street. Obey, sit, ask, And I know where my white poodle is, and once I get my money up and get myself together, I'm going to go back and get my poodle. I know exactly where my poodle is. My father buried my poodle instead of burying me. My dad buried my poodle in a certain place in the area, in a certain neighborhood of my uncle's house. I know exactly where my fucking poodle is. And once I get myself together, my poodle is buried in my backyard. Once I get myself together, I'm going back to get my poodle. I don't know if I have to pay the people. It was my uncle's house. It was my dad's brother's house, my Uncle Louis T house. I know where my poodle is. But I'm just saying, there's a difference between being raised and being trained. I wasn't raised, I was trained. I was trained by poodles. So if anybody wants to know why I'm excessively smart or why I have all these extra senses that a normal person would not have, is because I was trained by poodles. Why do I wear my hair like this? Because I'm a poodle. Because I know who trained me. One day, just one day, I don't want to keep going on about this, but I was most definitely trained by poodles. I wasn't raised at all. I was trained. Them poodles taught me. Both of them poodles died, protecting me. I wasn't raised. I wasn't raised at all, but I was trained. And I was trained by dogs. And at that time, they were the smartest dogs to be trained by. People, if you're tired of you young children and you got children and you don't want to raise your kids, and you just so tired you can't raise them, put some dogs, find out what's the smartest dog, buy the smartest dog, put the smartest dogs in the room with them. The dogs were trained, help train your children. Everything ain't AI. Wolves do train children. Sheep do. Different animals do train children, and they will die. The man's best friend will die. Both of them dogs dying, so I didn't have to die. I thought this was going to be so embarrassing, but it's not. When I look back, I am so smart. I can smell some shit before some shit get to stinking. I am so smart. I can hear something before somebody even speak it. I am so smart. I know what's going to happen because I was trained by dogs.